At the end of the day, for me, when I sit down and I think about looksmaxxing, I think looksmaxxing is what people started doing to basically, because real like sleeping, eating well, working out, that's boring, right? So this whole internet algorithmic way of living nowadays, you got to ask yourself, you know what I mean? If you're a young male that's sitting there that cares about the way you look, or, you know, cares about like looking for a gel or looking for some sort of skin moisturizer. Like, I'll tell you flat right now, when I was a young guy, I wasn't using no moisturizer, right? But nowadays guys are using moisturizer, right? So
moisturizer is pretty basic.
Yeah, sure, bro. Sure, man. So guys,
going on back then?
So if you're,
you don't want to look ashy.
when we were younger, Mads didn't care about ashy. That's what I'm trying to say to you, right? So nowadays, people are extremely aware of how ashy people are.
Bye.
I'll tell you right real.
All right, welcome to episode 3 of the Lowkey Scientific Podcast.
What up,
we
what
got
up,
a
what
new
up?
update. We got a new co-host. Our last co-host, Inara, she had to be smart and get into medical school. Yeah, anyway, Divya, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So hi, my name is Zivya. I'm a recent graduate from Western University, and I graduated with a double major in computer science and psychology.
Wow.
Nice.
Sharp.
So what interested you in computer science?
Yeah, for sure. So I took a cognitive psychology class and learned about the interdisciplinary fields that existed within computer science, neuroscience, and psychology as well. So it's just a combination of all those, and I think I really just found those studies interesting.
Okay.
That's a really interesting topic right now. I feel like everyone is, a lot of people are looking at the intersection of like tech and the brain and all that. So it's really heating up. So
And behavior, right?
Yeah.
And speaking of behavior, I think there's this thing going on called looksmaxxing.
Yeah, it is.
Tell me
it
a
is
bit about
going on.
looksmaxxing.
It is
What's
going on.
going
So I saw this video recently, and this guy, his name on Instagram is Brown Pill, and everyone these days seems like they're taking some kind of pill, red pill, black pill, brown pill. Like, why is everyone taking a pill?
Yeah.
First of all, but this guy basically, I saw the video, and he was like, he's brown looksmaxxer, and he's like looksmaxxing to the max, and telling all his followers how to like maximize your looks, and he'll like send or show these different tips. And this one, he put like eyeliner on his like cheekbones to make his like cheekbones look sharper.
No, he didn't.
And I was like, okay, at what point do we like say that this obsession with like your looks is getting unhealthy? Because like we all know this guy Clav, and Clavicular has literally gone viral for smashing his bones and
That's ridiculous.
and working on his jaw, and
Stupid.
now he's famous for being obsessed with his looks. And now I'm like, okay, at what point is this gonna get unhealthy, right?
At the end of the day, for me, when I sit down and I think about looksmaxxing, I think looksmaxxing is what people started doing to basically, because real like sleeping, eating well, working out, that's boring, right? So this whole internet algorithmic way of living nowadays, you got to ask yourself, you know what I mean? If you're a young male that's sitting there that cares about the way you look, or, you know, cares about like looking for a gel or looking for some sort of skin moisturizer. Like, I'll tell you flat right now, when I was a young guy, I wasn't using no moisturizer, right? But nowadays guys are using moisturizer, right? So
Moisturizer is pretty basic.
yeah, sure, bro. Sure, man. So guys,
going on back then?
so if
You
you're
don't want to look ashy.
if you're when we were younger, Mads didn't care about ashy. That's what I'm trying to say to you, right? So nowadays, people are extremely aware of how ashy people are.
Bye.
I'll tell you right, real talk, right? So that being said, I asked myself, if you're that kid that's looking for moisturizer and brown pill shows up on your algo, and you say, oh, hey, maybe I should go get some eyeliner. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so I personally think it's cringe. I think that I don't know what's going on with people thinking they're going to bruck up their face and their face is going to heal better. And I'm not about people chewing on rubber to get a better jawline.
So Divya, what would you do if your son, who's like a teenager, just like all of a sudden was super obsessed with how he looks, and to the point where he's like smashing his bones and like being super obsessed with like how he looks and consuming all this brown pill and all this? What would be your serious response as a mother who's trying to like raise a good son and bring a man into this world.
Yeah, genuinely, I think therapy would be my first route. I think learning about self-love, and especially as a man with like, you know, having emotional intelligence, just like your female counterparts.
Agreed.
I think like, yeah, learning about that, learning about yourself, and especially at such a young age. Like I heard Clavicular in one of his like videos or whatever his like streams or whatever. He was talking about like, oh, like the prime time to start like looks maxing would be like while you're going through puberty, like as a young male. Holy crap. Like, what? Yeah. Like you're making these young like men do all this stuff when they're like they're turning 17, 16 years old. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, you're a pretty attractive person. Like, what if you went on a date with a guy and he was like, oh, like, yeah, or you could tell that he was like wearing eyeliner on his jaw to look better. Like, what would be your response? Do you find that attractive?
Yeah.
Or do you think like that's kind of like off or weird?
Yeah, no, I think I love when men embrace their like femininity and traits that are, you know, connected with femininity. For example, like makeup and stuff like that. Like I do very much agree with like people being able to do whatever they want, and it doesn't bother me as long as like I think the whole case of men wearing makeup doesn't bother me. But in terms of when people are shallow, like I don't know, clavicular, like if you're rating me like sub 5 or something, like hello, like I would disagree with that. But I think in terms of makeup, I would definitely be all for that. Like,
you know, when I sit down and I think about mental health and I think about this algorithmic, you know, social media atmosphere that people are living in nowadays, I think about a saying that I've used before in consulting and training, and it's called avoiding to look bad, wanting to look good. And the more people operate from a place of avoiding to look bad and wanting to look good, they're going to consistently operate inauthentically. So my vibe is this whole look maxing thing. It's sensational for the internet, but the real looks maxing thing, which is like maybe SPF, working out, eating well, getting your good sleep, you know, maybe taking some vitamins, sure, using some moisturizer, whatever that looks like, it looks a lot more boring than busting up your face, right? Or even, you know, sensationalizing makeup, because I even see some influencers that are in finance sitting there doing their makeup while they're talking about politics or when they're talking about their stock portfolio, because obviously social media algorithms, all of a sudden when you start doing your face or, you know, you start doing the stuff, all of a sudden it stops the scroll. Right? People want to know, you know what I mean? People are fast. It's not Facebook, it's Fastbook, right? People are too nosy on what you're doing. So again, I like to operate authentically, and you know, even if you check on my socials, you won't see craziness like that. I did, you know, there was a time, actually, no BS, I did put on makeup, but I put on makeup because my daughter wanted to show off how good she's at makeup. She's like, hey dad, you're a pretty boy, let me show you how pretty you can be. And she put it on my face. But it's not something I'm doing on a day-to-day to be like, hey man, I want to accentuate this.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, like men wear makeup for like being on shows and being on movies. That's completely normal. And like,
we're brown, right? We don't show up really well. So I'm sure there's guys
for
that
camera work and like being on camera, you need makeup to like look good, like to like for light to bounce off your skin properly.
Exactly.
But I think this obsession of like doing it for everyday attractiveness, and that like it's almost like scary how like precise these ratings I've seen are for people online, like sub 5, mid 7, mid tier normie, high tier normie. Like all these words are really dangerous for like a young person's self-esteem. Like someone who's just growing up and like trying to build themselves as a person. Seeing all this. Like, what are you gonna think? Like, what if you are not the most attractive person conventionally as a teenager, and then you're trying to like just live a life, go through the world, and you see all this online? Like, that's got to be damaging for your mental health. It's got to be horrible.
And I think like in terms of like, okay, we bring up this problem as such a huge issue when men become kind of like want to wear makeup to look better, and we see it as like a huge issue because I feel like we didn't care enough about women when they, you know what I mean, were going through the same struggles that men are kind of going through now because of looks maxing or whatever. Like,
Wait, what do you mean struggles?
Like in terms of wanting or having to look good.
Okay.
Like,
I see.
Wanting to look good and avoiding to look bad. Like basically wanting to look good for men.
Yeah.
But like,
Or just wanting to look
in
good.
terms of the patriarchy, like women were kind of forced to wear makeup. Like, let's say if you show up somewhere like and you don't wear makeup, it's like, cut that out, cut that.
It's on there.
It was like, okay, she didn't even try like to like look good or whatever. She just got out of bed, whatever. But it's like we have so many rules and regulations on women and men in terms of wearing makeup and not wearing makeup, when it all should be like, it's all just a huge consumerism plot, honestly.
Yeah, it is.
It is, but like,
It is. No, she's right.
yeah.
No, yeah, the big companies are the ones that look how big Sephora's gotten, bro.
Yeah.
Like Sephora's blown up.
Yeah.
Like blown up. There's another, I forget the one in the States, begins with a U. But yeah, same type of model, right? And the business model is you come in from one end, you get given all these opportunities to like blush up, glow up, gloss up. You know what I mean?
They're creating solutions
Smell
for
up.
like problems that shouldn't even exist. Like, yeah.
That's a good point.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
and when you think about world poverty, it hasn't changed since 1995. Right? So world poverty hasn't changed since 1995, but welcome looksmaxxing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
I think like that, the whole aesthetic. I really think humanity is way too obsessed with aesthetics right now. Like, where's the soul? Like, where's the people that are actually like thinking about what's inside and not what's outside? Like Divya, like if you're tell a guy out there that their personality is just
She's like, nah.
tell a guy out there that their personality is just as important, if not more important, than their looks.
No, genuinely, I think personality, morality, like where your like moral compass lies is infinitely more important to me than like anything else. Or I'm sure a lot of people agree with me as well, where it's like if I meet someone who genuinely understands like the struggle of other people and has like
Empathy?
pure kindness and empathy, that's better than like anything like material, or physical, because like we're all gonna be old anyways. Like, yeah.
That's big, especially
Yeah.
as a there's a lot of people, as you get older, you notice that people start talking about this, but for you to think about that below the age of 25, for you to even consider the fact that you can get old and wrinkly, and that it's only going to really matter how you touch, move, and inspire people, not how you look or how you smell or how you whatever. That's pretty big. So again, when it comes to this whole looksmaxxing thing, for me, I just think it's cringe, it's sensational, and people that are you are what you eat. You are what you consume. So for everyone that's out there that's consuming this type of content and thinks that, oh yeah, you know what, a
Mid-tier normie.
yeah, a mid-tier normie that's trying to like, whatever. I don't even know what to say to you, man. Like, honestly, eat your fruits, eat your vegetables, go to sleep,
go to
therapy, work out. Try to work out. You might actually get some natural serotonin, the natural dopamine, instead of sitting there and having these algorithms feed you what you think you need.
Yeah, like being consistent and going to the gym and drinking water. That's like, if you do that, you're going to look like a decent amount of good. And then your personality will take you the rest of the way. Like if you are, it's almost like unhealthy and like unattractive if you're super obsessed with your looks. Like that's a little bit like in your mom's basement, Discord mod vibes.
Dude,
I don't know.
This whole thing, I think is all connected. I think he's right. I think it goes down to what women are willing to do to impress, to avoid to look bad and want to look good and attract more exposure, and what men are willing to do to look good and attract more exposure. Right? So it comes down to operating from avoiding to look bad and wanting to look good. It's ego, man. It's ego.
It's all ego.
It's all ego. It's simple 3 letters, and it's been around for a long time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whole bunch, Carl Jung, all these guys, historical, philosophers and therapists have sit down and gone into ego. So ego's a real big thing.
And the ego right now is being dressed up as looksmaxxers. So this clavicular is the ego right now. I think like the way that his lifestyle right now is really like a sign. It's kind of like sad that there are probably young boys out there looking at Clavicular's lifestyle and saying, I want to do that. Because he's obsessed with his looks for 10 years, finally got famous, And now he's in these like Miami clubs.
Is he only 10?
What do you
I don't
mean?
even know how old he is. He's only like 10 years old.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know how old he is, but like
no clue. I
he's
think he's 27.
now his
Oh,
lifestyle
really?
is like
He's
going to
27.
all these clubs and hanging with all these women. But like, what now? Like, okay, you're attractive and you're doing all that, but is that like is that what your purpose is in life? Like, is that all you're gonna do?
I don't know. There's a lot of toxic male masculinity, right? Ask Andrew Tate.
I won't ask him.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I think clap is a really bad sign for culture right now, and I hope that his time is finished soon because I don't know why he's famous.
Again, it goes on to algorithms, right?
Yeah.
It comes down to what's boring and what's not boring.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
What's boring is someone, eating their vitamins, going to the gym, drinking water.
Drinking water.
Right? Like, come on, like how exciting is that?
Yeah.
As opposed to somebody that wants to bust up his face or chew on rubber,
Mm-hmm.
right? To get my jawline. Yo, you gotta do this, and I gotta do this. And you gotta do that. And you gotta do like all this crazy stuff, bro.
It's like giving hope to younger kids, or like this like falsified like pretense of hope almost, and it's like these kids look great the way they look, and it's like you know you shouldn't be forcing this down like their throats.
I mean, you can improve your looks to an extent. It's just how obsessed are you with it? That's like the issue here, in my opinion.
Yeah,
But
for sure. And you know what, man? If you guys like topics like this, because I know we'd like to talk about topics like this, thanks all for spending the time, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Yeah, thanks for watching.